Hello, YouTube. We are doing something a little different today. We are going to be getting political today. We are going to fresh react. I've seen clips of it. I've seen a few clips of it. I have not seen this whole interview. I'm going to react to the whole thing. I think it's 2 hours long. I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to pause and shit probably and say stuff. I don't know. I don't even know if it's going to be anything to react to. I don't watch America First or whatever it's called. I know who Nick Fuentes is, obviously. He's Piers Morgan, I know who he is. I don't really know. I know Nick Fuentes' politics way more than I know what Piers Morgan thinks. He's kind of anyways, we're just gonna start this up and then we're gonna start reacting to this shit. I don't know if this will get copyrighted or not. I don't know how much you have to talk or be on YouTube. I'm also just gonna check, make sure everything's working decently on here. It's kind of Anyways, we're just gonna start this up, and then we're gonna start reacting to this shit. Okay, let's fucking watch some probably insane shit. This is when the old guy at work wants to show up. Oh, you young guys don't know nothing. You guys don't know how. You guys don't want to work or nothing. You guys just want to fucking sit around on your phones and not. And then the young kid does some shit, and he actually knows what he's doing. I don't, yeah. We're just we'll start this now. Fuck.
You're a New York Times reader, an NPR fan, a Daily Wire subscriber, or an avid consumer of all things Tucker Carlson. For several months now, there's been no avoiding the subject of Nick Fuentes. And let's be clear, the main reason you're hearing about him is because he's...
You know what, I can't fucking focus with my shit playing. I thought... Here.
Popular. A large number of people, especially young men, are interested in what he has to say. What that says about our society and our culture is the subject of ferocious debate. For many people, it's a grave indictment of an insidious immorality. For others, he's a product of a culture which has turned on its own and left many young people feeling listless and bitter. He's either a litmus test for right-wing hypocrisy on free speech or a walking, talking manifestation of where the lines should be drawn. And a frankly preposterous amount of airtime has been spent on debating everything from his ideology to his sexuality.
So I don't know if Piers Morgan, I think he's kind of a fucking progressive conservative type of person. He's the type of guy who just wishes that we could go back to talking about spending too much money or whatever. He doesn't really seem he would be maybe what you would call a free speech absolutist or anything like that. But I don't know. I don't know much about what he believes.
And whether anyone should actually talk to him.
That's why I'm doing this, because I don't have a fucking bone or a fucking dog in this fight. I don't care if Piers Morgan is right. I don't care if Nick Fuentes says anything. I know he's gonna say shit that's funny, because that's why he's popular. Because you can't just be a freaking old boomer and just fucking nag people anymore. It's we're starting to move into the next generation is starting to move up, and at some point it's gonna start to matter what we think. But or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it won't. That's not a given. But like, if he, like, Piers Morgan just isn't gonna speak to anyone. Like, yeah, like you said, like, young people aren't gonna. I mean, it's just because he's not funny. I've never seen Piers Morgan say anything funny intentionally.
Tall.
If I were writing a glossary entry on the Streisand effect, I wouldn't put a picture of her next to it. I would put a picture of Nick Fuentes.
They have opted to not do so when it comes to Nazis like Nick Fuentes.
Fuentes takes this guy apart brick by brick. It's a full takedown.
My concern is that people who are a bit more moderate are deeply alarmed by Nick Fuentes.
I was very happy to see that, like, Nick Fuentes really passed that test with flying colors.
That fragmentation is being caused purposefully by a splinter faction of people led by a young man named Nick Fuentes.
That's the war. Can you get the beef prices down? Not crazy things that Nick Fuentes or these other loons say on social media.
Well, it looks like all the screaming about Nick Fuentes on the internet is finally dying down a little bit.
So now we had on this guy, this Fuentes guy, and never challenged him.
Everyone's starting to have him on now. It's kind of crazy. Like, probably like 2 summers ago, I remember like people fucking watching his podcast and shit, and he was just like still like an internet like really like fringe kind of right wing, like fringe right wing, whatever. And now you see him like on like Time Magazine or whatever it was, New York Post. One of them had a picture of him up on their like front page and shit, and everyone's interviewing him. It's a weird shift to see that kind of become mainstream, but it's kind of indicative of it's kind of reflective of like the general shift away from all that, and it's like it's going to swing back. Like, the pendulum is going to swing back like really hard, and like Nick Fuentes is like the only one who's like standing on the other side gonna catch it, and like you could like have it swing back, and you could have someone like catch it here, like kind of like close to the middle, or you can have it like swing back, or you can have someone catch it over here, and if it gets stuck over here, then you're gonna see a lot of changes, probably.
You should have Nick Fuentes on your show, and you could ask him questions about that.
The truth is, it doesn't make a lot of sense to spend all this time talking about Nick Fuentes, but not actually to Nick Fuentes. People who say you shouldn't give him a platform overlook the very obvious fact that he already has a platform of his own, which is often
I don't even
bigger.
know. Like, I don't even know how many. Let's see. I don't even know how many viewers he get or how many listeners he has. I don't. Is this the right thing? I don't know how. Wait. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know what's accurate. Is he on YouTube? What's like, this is all like reposts, right? No, so he's not on YouTube. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is like some. I don't. I don't think this is the right guy. I don't know though. Okay. I mean, this is fucking AI bullshit. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think he's pretty fucking popular. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I think he's pretty fucking popular. Yeah, crazy.
You're the most of the people complaining, and he uses it to speak unchallenged to his many followers. It's on that basis that I've invited him to appear live and uncensored on my platform. And Nick Fuentes, joins me now. Nick Fuentes, welcome to Uncensored.
Damn, bro, that was cold. Oh, whatever.
Hi, great to be with you.
I don't know you. I don't think we've ever met. You can correct me if that's wrong. I know about you. I know that increasingly people are talking about you in a more mainstream environment.
Man, he is mocking the fuck out of this guy, low-key. Like, what the hell? Okay. I don't know. You can kind of tell who's, like, on the offensive here. Like, this guy's gonna be having to defend himself a lot. I can already tell. I feel like he's gonna have to be defending a lot of things in this like, no matter what he says, it's just you can tell he's just gonna turn it into a fucking attack.
Than you may be used to. So for those who know nothing about Nick Fuentes, I want this to be an opportunity to get to the real person. I don't know who that person is, but I do want to use this opportunity to get there. I've seen you talk, as we prepared for this, in exchanges with people and on your show, saying you fear it's going to be very hostile, it's going to be an ambush, all those kind of things. I don't intend it to be overtly hostile. I don't intend to ambush you. I intend it to be an examination of what you said.
And I don't know if, like, it is in his nature, not like Piers Morgan's nature, not to ambush or do something like that. He's a fucking BBC reporter guy or whatever. Or does he just do his own thing? Well, 5.4 million views, not bad. How many comments did this have?
You want to use this opportunity.
I thought it said 939,000. Yeah, I mean, he's actually pretty big. He's a lot more popular than I thought he was, to be honest.
I know that increasingly people are talking about you in a more mainstream environment than you may be used to. So for those who know nothing about Nick Fuentes, I want this to be an opportunity to get to the real person. I don't know who that person is, but I do want to use this opportunity to get there. I've seen you talk, as we prepared for this, in exchanges with people and on your show, saying you fear it's going to be very hostile, it's going to be an ambush, all those kind of things. I don't intend it to be overtly hostile. I don't intend to ambush you. I intend it to be an examination of what you said on the record, an examination of what you believe or what you say you believe, and an examination of what your rising popularity says about the state of the conservative movement in America. So those.
I think it says that people are bored of, like, pretending. Not pretending. Just people who are bored of the same old, like, song and dance. And there's like a kind of legitimate, extreme, like leftist movement. Like, if you're in university and you want to be like a left wing type person, like, it's pretty easy to be that. But there's no like legitimate right. I mean, even leftists will say that they don't have like anyone to vote for either. Like, oh, in Canada the Liberal Party's too is like whatever, and like the Democrats are, oh, they're basically like conservatives or whatever, and whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm sure people could argue some valid things about that, but like, there's just nowhere else for these people to watch that isn't like, oh, look at this fucking movie where they have like a trans person. Yeah, it's like this, it's too like, it's just too tired now. People want to actually hear someone like say something new, probably something a little more, yeah. And yeah, he has a good setup. He has a pretty freaking good setup for he must make a lot of money, actually. I don't know. He probably does pretty well off of this podcast.
These are my goals from this interview. What are your goals? Why are you doing it?
I thought it'd be interesting. And, you know, you've talked a lot about me on your show over the years, and this is the first time you actually extended the invitation. I think it might be the second, actually. I think we talked about doing it during A24 a few years ago, but you've talked a lot about me with the panel, and now you've extended the invitation to talk to me. And I think it'd be interesting for me to maybe clarify some positions and maybe get to know you a little better as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
There is a belief that you have two personas. There's one that you roll out now for podcasts and for shows like mine, where you come across as reasonable. And then there's your show on Rumble, where you often come across as having, you know, a very unreasonable view on things. This is what Coleman Hughes said about you.
Nick Fuentes knows exactly what he's doing. He is consciously playing this double game as part of a long-term strategy to become popular enough to take the reins of power, at which point he plans to pivot towards the extreme and unpopular.
Okay, sorry. Wait. So does he have a Rumble account? Fuck. Okay. Nick Fuentes. Oh, okay. Okay, wait. Is this the same is this the guy? No. Is this him? No, this is like a clip channel. Is it America? Oh, there we go. Okay, 6,800 or 618,000 fucking followers on Rumble, which is crazy because Rumble, like, who the fuck uses Rumble? Like, who like has a Rumble account? Even like, yeah, I couldn't get. It's annoying. The app sucks, low key. Damn. Okay, so he gets decent fucking views on a fucking like on Rumble. That's pretty crazy. I feel like Rumble views, I was like, okay, well, people are definitely listening to you somewhere else because no one fucking uses Rumble. Like he's consistently getting millions of views every single day, basically. Like 1 million views every day he posts. He gets like 1 million views. That's crazy. On Rumble, bro. Huh. That's interesting. Let's see. Let's see a clip. Oh, these are all like really long. Well, let's watch one of the clips that. um.
And if it wasn't for our Jewish oligarchy, which spends all our resources fighting Israel's wars in the Middle East, Jewish oligarchy that actually hates white people, that says white people have anti-Semitism in their DNA. Well, what is that supposed to mean? They want us all dead. They want our genetics to die. It's no coincidence that they're in charge in every one of these Western countries, every Western country that's committing suicide. These are the three things killing the country. These are the three things which are why we're not going to have an America.
Who's Jewish in Canada? I mean, like, how Jewish is someone? Like, I mean, some of these guys, but like, I don't really think it's that. Here, wait. Here. I had an issue with my thing there. Wait, I'm just making sure everything's coming back. I had an issue with my thing there. Okay. Oh. Okay, wait. Okay, I'll be right back. I need to fucking take a break, honestly. This is kind of intense. Fuck. Yeah, let's do that. about it. Okay. It doesn't. Okay. I don't think it means anything. Like 63 for France, but France is a pretty like old country. And also like I don't know. I just think that fixation on these people, like he's saying, "Oh, we're fighting Middle Eastern war. We're fighting the Middle East war. Or fucking we're fighting Israel's war in the Middle East, but look who's really like like these guys. No one talks about these guys. Why does everyone talk about the one country in this little area? I don't think y'all understand. Like who really runs shit in this area? You think these guys run shit when look at this. This is literally all oil. This is all oil that you can ship out and just use like right away. Like this is not fuck off. This is power right now. This is a consolidated power. These people aren't like Saudi Arabia isn't like Canada where we have all these companies, all these foreign companies set up here who then like ship it out and then whatever. They own all that shit. Like Saudi Arabia, the government or the whatever, the authoritarian regime that controls Saudi Arabia isn't letting people just take their oil and make their own money off of it. They're making the money in this area, and you just can't understate how much that like how much influence that it like okay, bro. 1 trillion pledged for U.S. infrastructure and tech. I don't think people understand what we've been doing with our money. Like when we send money to people, it's not like, oh, you can just we're just giving you this money and you can just do whatever you want with it, and that's it. That's I hope it helps. Like when Western countries give money to these developing nations, it's with the understanding that they'll like do stuff if they need like if China starts popping off, all these countries that receive money from Western countries, if you don't let Western forces use your territory and shit, you're definitely not getting that money. That's how there's strings attached to that shit. And you're gonna tell me that, oh, we're gonna pledge $1 trillion to develop infrastructure and technology through your country. Like, oh yeah, and don't forget about this. This is don't forget about how much they spend on or how much the U.S. trades with weapons with Saudi Arabia. But how is that not going to be an issue? And like, there's like nothing about it, but they're buying like sports teams or whatever. They're setting up comedy festivals with with like a crazy lineup. Like, look at all these people. Look at all these people that were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come out to a and then people are gonna be like, oh, you're supporting a genocide, and then they've killed over almost 20,000 people, and all of these comedians were like, yeah, I'll take your money and I'll go perform. And it's like, apparently it's not even like that much. It was like the high ones were like low millions. Apparently, I don't know, but like Bobby Lee, Joe Coy, Kevin Hart, Gabrielle Iglesias. I don't know who this guy is. I kind of know who this guy is. Pete Davidson, Bill Burr, Jimmy Carr, Dave Chappelle, Lucy K. I mean, Lucy K. You know, all these people. Tom Segura, Andrew Cetino, and Andrew Sells. All these people are like, yeah, I'll take money from a country that is like trading weapons with all these countries and like killing people in a different country, because it's money, right?
The end of the century.
But also, everything's the Jews' fault.
And those are the three things I'm right about. That's why they throw every one of those labels at me. Racist, sexist, anti-Semite. No, we're just tired of mass migration, feminism, and Jewish power. I'm not a racist. I just don't want to die by mass migration. I'm not a sexist. I just don't want my race to die because of feminism, which is decadence. I'm not an anti-Semite. I don't hate anybody. I just want Christians and Europeans to be in charge of the country, not Jews that clearly hate us and want us all to die because they believe we have anti-Semitism in our bones and Rome destroyed the Second Temple. And I'm right about all those things.
I mean, fuck. He's at least he's confident. It's an interesting take. I mean, I think some of those issues have been simplified. I think the most legitimate one.
I just want Christians. Sexist. Oh, we're just tired of mass migration, feminism, and Jewish power. I'm not a racist. I just don't want to die by mass migration. I'm not.
That one's probably the most reasonable one.
Die by mass migration. I just don't want to die by mass migration.
That's probably the most reasonable one. I mean, like, I don't know who's gonna. Yeah, that's the most reasonable take out of the whole thing. Okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I feel like, oh man, I feel like I listen to that every day. I would actually like go kind of insane. Like, that's intense. And like, I'm even like into like politics and compare, like, I'm not as extreme as I used to be, but like this sometimes you just gotta listen to music.
Policies that he advocates daily on Rumble.
So first of all, what is your response to that?
Well, first of all, I would say that Coleman Hughes is a propagandist. He works for the Free Press, which is run by Barry Weiss. So I think that's, you have to consider the source. And Barry Weiss is a pro-Israel partisan. Free Press is just bought out by CBS for $150 million by Larry Ellison, or his son David Ellison. And so I think that's coming from a particular point of view. We can't pretend like that's coming from a vacuum or from some fixed position. That's coming from a propaganda outlet that's in favor of Israel. That's first. But second, I would say he is right about the two personas. And I think that everybody understands this on some level. On my show, I make jokes and I use rhetoric and I'm hyperbolic because for a long time I had an audience that was small on these like dissident platforms. I was on D Live for many years. A lot of people don't even know what that is. And so I had a small following, and we had sort of like an in-group sense of humor and memes and things like that. And you talk about it one way on a freewheeling live stream when I'm by myself and I'm ranting and we make jokes.
How many N-words do you think were dropped in that chat?
Jokes, and we play devil's advocate. We play with different positions. But then when you sit down in an interview like this one, and people ask me a good faith question, what do you actually believe? Well, then I clarify and I say, well, here I'm not joking. Here I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not being rhetorical. I'll tell you precisely what I believe. As far as this idea that I'm going to get power and then turn into Hitler, that just sounds totally insane to me. I'll be honest. It just sounds insane.
Do you have aspirations for political power?
Not really. I think that if I...
Honestly... I think he might. I think he might run at some point if he gets way more popular. I think it might get to his head a little bit. Sorry.
Wanted to run for office, I wouldn't say a lot of the things that I say. I don't know that a lot of people would vote for me. I tend to offend.
I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's going to have the opposite effect, especially with younger people, because people are just gonna get to a point where they just want to see everything just fucking burn, bro. They're just gonna want to see everything just collapse and see whatever happens. If it ever gets to a point where no one cares about the current system, because everyone, if people ever feel like they're not gonna get their pension, like they get a genuine feeling, then they might vote for someone who says shit like he does.
And everybody, even a lot of people that like me. So no, I'm a truth teller. I like to tell the truth. I like to do my live stream.
Who is Nick Fuentes? Tell me about your upbringing. I know you grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. Tell me about your early years.
Or early how? Like my childhood or a little bit
your
later?
Childhood, yeah.
Well, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago in LaGrange Park, as you say. My parents are ethnics. My father's half Mexican, half Irish. My mother's Italian. And they both came from a pretty rough upbringing themselves. They both are...
So he's half Mexican.